Hey friends, welcome back to Faith to Impact. I'm your host, Dustin Hill. It's great to have you here, and I appreciate you tuning in today. Today what I want to talk about is how life is ironic sometimes. Just a funny story and then also just a talk about a plea to keep going. And so with that though, the ironic part. So if you're watching on video, then you'll notice my arm here. I've got some black stuff on, or I guess it's brown on my arm, and it is Nutella. So the kids had some crepes this morning, so I was helping with that. And the reason I bring that up is the fact that earlier this week, I talked about the importance of really reflecting on your wins and on your progress, that it's so important to take time to do that so that you can continue to go forward. Because again, sometimes we look so much into the future of what we want to do, and then we see where we're at compared to that. We're like, oh, we get depressed and we get sad and things like that. And so it's just super ironic because I brought that up. I talked to y'all about that. And then today I had another moment like that where Amy had gone on a run and then doing some yoga and things like that. And so it kind of messed a little bit with kind of my plan in the morning and getting stuff done. And so the kids were hungry and they wanted crepes that we had left over. And so I was helping Parker do that. And I just got kind of frustrated. And a lot of it was just me. Like I recognized that was partially just me, that like I was just kind of in this moment of, I wanted to be doing something different right now. And so it's just ironic to me that, I talked about that and then boom, it happens again. And so funny that would happen. But the thing that I wanted to do, and just like really a real life example of what I just talked about, is the importance of reflecting on how are you doing and on your wins and your progress. Because what's interesting to me is like, yes, I'm frustrated that I was frustrated. Like I feel like I shouldn't have done that, and it would have been cool if I hadn't done that. However, when I look back to a couple months ago when I was frustrated about this, some kind of messing up the morning or something that didn't go as planned, I remember that took me an entire day to get over it. Like it was something that it was just frustrating. I was kind of sad about it, and it just really messed with my day. And it bothered me. But now because of that experience, like I've become stronger. And so it's a really important thing, again, to reflect on your wins and on your progress, even in the same week. I'm sure that you've had moments like this too, where you feel like on top of the world, like you can't mess up, or like everything's going to work out, the things that you're working on. And then pretty soon after, something happens that you just, you don't really know what to do. And you just feel like you're stuck, or, like what happened? I felt like I was doing so well, and then all of a sudden this thing happened. And I actually did want to mention really quick a book. So The Big Leap is an awesome book. It's actually pretty quick and a pretty quick read as well. But one of the things that it talks about in the book is this idea of having like a happiness / success / like fulfillment thermometer inside each of us. And that we all are comfortable right now with how happy we are, in a given day or whatever, or the success that we're at. And that it's when you exceed that or dip below where you're typically happy or, feeling successful, that your body, it has to adjust. And so a lot of times it's kind of things are going to happen in your life that may try and pull you back to where you're used to being, And so it's important for us to push through that, especially when we're working towards something amazing. And certainly something I'm doing with, this show, with the membership, with the mini summits and everything like that, because I know it's such a good thing. And it's been so fun to be able to dive into more of why I'm doing this, right? Why, faith and family and impact is so important, and how I can truly explain that better and come up with better stories and better analogies and create better tools. And, I was actually talking about, creating an app for some of the things that we're working. Anyways, it's just so fun. And so I'm excited to continue to push through, but it can be difficult. Like it can be really difficult to go through, especially when it's hard. And sometimes right after you commit to do something, that's exactly when the hard things show up. And so that's something that I just wanted to bring up and to say, because I think it's really important for us to look at. And again, just like I mentioned earlier this week, make sure to look at your progress and be positive about how you're doing, because that'll fuel you to continue to go forward. Because have you ever felt like when you mess up or something doesn't go well that you just want to give up? Has that ever happened to you? It's happened to me a lot. I've had that happen to me a ton. And, I've had that with multiple, different side projects and things that I've worked on, happened, and sometimes even with this show in the beginning, especially, it was like, I had times where it was like, I don't know. It's just too much. I won't do it right now. But like, again, I feel called to do this. And the more that I've pushed through, the more that I've been able to say, hey, this is what I'm doing. Like I'm doing this and this is what's going to go on. And that's why my plea to you is just to keep going. That I know that things can be really difficult, that things can be hard, days can be hard. But as long as you push through and you keep going, everything's going to work out, right? It will work out. And that's one of the things that I love about having faith is just that I just really trust that everything will work out, and as I mentioned too, the show's not about a specific faith. I am Christian, so I'll definitely be talking about that. But, I really do believe in God. I believe that he said to us, hey, trust in the Lord with all thine heart and lean not to thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him and he shall direct thy paths. And I totally believe that when you trust in him, that everything will work out. So trust in your faith and know that everything will work out and keep going, because that's the biggest part, in my opinion. If you give up, then you're done, right? There's no way that you can do it. If you're trying to run a race that's like 100 miles long and you give up, then how are you? There's just no way. It's just over. But if you keep trying, okay, you fall down, you get distracted, but then you get back up and you keep going, then you'll make it. Like you'll definitely make it if you just keep going. So that's my plea to you, is just to continue going. I appreciate you tuning in. Really appreciate it. And if you're on YouTube or on the podcast, please subscribe. Would love that. Would love it if you'd share this and share the I guess rate and review and stuff like that, so that I know what things you like and how I can make your life better with this, so that we can all focus on what matters most, right? Focus on our faith, family, and impact, so that we can be fulfilled, ourselves, to be able to feel happier, but help other people do that, and to really know that we're on the right path and making a difference. So thank you again so much for tuning in, and I hope you have an amazing weekend. We'll catch you next week.